look, again, there's a certain point, this was actually, it's funny because my friend Daryl Cooper, when he was on Tucker Carlson, he had this big controversy over people totally misconstruing the thing that he was saying. But if you actually listen to the thing that he was saying, what he was saying was that, look, he goes, even if you want to take the most generous interpretation of Adolf Hitler, if you want to find a way to try to be on his side, he's responsible for the people who died under his custody. And the point he was ultimately making was like, look, Israel, if you launch a war in Gaza and you don't have a plan for how to protect the civilians there, then you're responsible for their death. Like that, it doesn't matter in a sense whether you shot him in the head, or in the same sense where, like, if you kidnap someone and you lock them in your basement and just don't feed them and then they die, you murdered that person. It does, right. You didn't just kidnap them now you kidnapped and murdered them because you're responsible for that. It doesn't matter if you locked them down there and shot them in the head or just let them starve to death. You still put them in the situation where, so that was his point. And likewise to Donald Trump, it's like, whether you even know about any of this or not, you're still doing it. You've allowed your administration to be taken over by these guys. Now, look, I mean, I don't even think, to use an example about me, right? Like, I don't think that Donald Trump watched my debate with Douglas Murray and then decided to promote Douglas Murray's book the next day. But right. Somebody who's got access to Donald Trump's Twitter or whatever decided to the next day promote this book after it was like this. And okay, whatever. Like, I didn't care. I kind of took that as a feather in my cap. Like, yeah, you got to call in the big dogs to try to get us out of this. But at the end of all of this, whatever it is, it's like the Trump administration here has obviously been much more captured by Netanyahu and Mark Levin than by occupied. Candace Owens.
Yes, it's occupied. Everybody can see this is an occupied administration. And I love how they're, I think right now I'm trending on X over this. So Candace Owens says she regrets her vote. You're not going to shame me for saying everything you're doing is unacceptable. Try a mom on the Epstein stuff, okay? Try a mother. If you think I care more about loyalty to the MAGA cause than I care about pedophiles in positions of power getting away with it, you are out of your mind. You must have not listened to a single second of the Candace Owens podcast. You must have never listened to a thing I've ever said if you think that I am that blind and dumb and loyal to any person, left or right, that I'm going to go, oh, okay, we got to let pedophilia go. Okay, we got to just move on. It's a hoax. You know, I know he actually went to prison for it. Okay, but it's a hoax, and let's move on. It's a Democrat hoax. I mean, it's so insulting. And you are correct that you know that some of these things are coming from people around him, like immediately tweeting out. It was so disrespectful when Charlie died. A photo of Charlie AI. Do I think Donald Trump hopped on AI and made this photo of Charlie and him holding the Israeli American flag combo? No. But I'm sorry, if you're not capable enough to control the people around you, then you shouldn't be in a position of power. Okay, I don't get to if something goes out on my account, right? And people go, oh, did this go on your account? And I don't get to go, oh, well, you know what? My producer had access to that. It's like, okay, but that's your account. So you take the blame. Okay, the captain goes down with the ship, and we don't even know, who's in control, but we know it's not Trump. So this is effectively like the Biden administration, but totally actually worse because Trump has his wits about him, right? So with Biden, at least we knew, right, that he had dementia before they admitted it. At least we knew he wasn't in control the whole time. It's almost worse because Trump doesn't have dementia, because Trump is actually sharp and he is aware and he is still occupied and somebody else is calling the shots.
Yeah, that's right. And the fact that these guys who all of them, like I've had this experience, right? Like I said, Josh Hammer, that's how he tried to debate me. That's how Steven Crowder tried to debate me. This guy's not pro-Trump. We're the pro-Trump side. Ben Shapiro did like several segments on me over the years. And the running joke was that he would never say my name. He would do segments, not of just like me on your show or me on Rogan's show or like on my show. Like he would do segments of my show and still go, this comedian who evidently says he's a libertarian. Like he would never say Dave Smith. It's a very complicated name. But he would never say it. But then the first time he ever said my name was when I called for Trump to be impeached after he launched the war in Iran. And then he goes, here's Dave Smith calling to him. And like, all I'm saying is like, you look at these Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder. And so all of them, they were all the never Trumpers. Like, how stupid does everybody have to be? What, do you not remember the National Review piece, Never Trump, in 2016?
They weren't even just never Trumpers. They stayed never Trumpers. They were pro DeSantis.
Yes. They've
And then DeSantis lost. So they haven't won. The person that they have wanted to put in office, they have not had a winning philosophy.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're like trying to convince us that they're MAGA. I actually don't understand it.
No,
it's
yeah,
quite confusing.
Half of them pushed the Russiagate hoax. These were never Trumpers, and they were never Trumpers for a reason. Like, people just be like smart enough to see this for 1 second, right? Because it's funny when they come at me, because look, I'm not like I voted for Trump this last time. I sat out the first two. I've always been like, but the thing is, because I'm to the MAGA of him. I'm to the non-intervention of him. Like when Donald Trump came out and said, we're not going to fight these wars. Iraq, you lied us into Iraq, blah, 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 but we'll still bomb them and we'll take the oil and we'll do this. I went, nope, too much. That's still too much intervention for me. Now, they rejected him because he was saying we shouldn't be so interventionist. I was over here like, you should be even more non-interventionist than that. Like, I want you to be Ron Paul. And so for them to sit here and say, it's like, yeah, dude, you guys all fought him over him signaling more in our direction of foreign policy, which is that we don't want to fight all these stupid wars. And it's like, yeah, they're trying to use this energy. It's like, so what do you guys want to do? You want to run on Mark Levin's platform? You want to run on Jeb Bush's platform? That's 1% in the polls, man. It's like, so they have to almost rely on running like us, but then, like trying to, I don't know, demonize all of us or something.
It's infiltration. They have to like pretend, and then infiltrate, and then try to force like neocon, pro-military, pro-intervention, nonstop bombing of some countries so we can steal their resources and pretend that there was some moral democratic reason that we were there. And people are awake to it. So I do wonder, it seems like they're playing checkers. It's nobody's believing that you're original MAGA. I mean, it's such a weird thing. It's like, they're like, the problem are these people who actually got Trump elected when we were attacking him. Like, the problem are these people. They're so extreme. We're right back. We're like hamsters on a wheel, right? We are just right back to the beginning here, and we're the basket of deplorables. Okay, let's go. Like, and now it's like Trump, I guess, like I said, has joined Never Trump, or is being controlled by the Never Trump movement. It doesn't matter. Our eyes are clear on this. We know what we voted for. We know why we got behind Trump, and we know that we're not getting it. We're getting like Bitcoin stuff that he's like pushing, and which is like completely crazy. And like, by the way, also you are taking advantage of people that believe in you the most. All of it is just so wrong, and it's so icky. We're aware of the deals that Jared is doing while you call us funded by Qatar. The deals that Jared is doing in the Middle East with Qatar and Israel, they think we're this dumb. And I'm going, wow, like, did you always think we were this dumb? Or actually, is it because you're occupied by the Never Trumpers? And the Never Trumpers have been explicit in the fact that they think that Trump people are dumb. But we're not this dumb, okay? The original MAGA party is not this dumb. We're aware of what you're doing. We're aware of the infiltration, and we are not going to support that.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, as Tucker said when he was on my show a few days ago, he said, if you really ran on an America First message, it's going to be enormously popular, and not just with the right wing. I mean, you could carry half the left wing on that message too. Maybe not all of them, but you could carry a whole lot of independents and liberals and leftists if you just said, hey, like, here's the platform, like a separation, in the same way we had like a separation of church and state or anything like that. You go, a separation of Israel and DC, a separation of Tel Aviv and DC is like a great thing to run on, that you could get tens of millions of Americans to rally around. That's just it. Our goal here is just, the platform is, we're not going to fight stupid wars. We're not going to have open borders. We're going to start spending within our means. Like how much tax revenue do we bring in every year? That's what we can spend. Okay. We can't borrow and print the money. And I will say, and this will be the last thing I say, and then I'll give you the final word. I do see, like as Mamdani wins, and Ben Shapiro and people like that are going, when did you guys spend any time attacking Mamdani? And it's like,
not once.
Hey, look, I would love in a way to argue with a communist who wants to be mayor of New York City. It's like, the problem is that you guys made the whole argument you've never visited Israel, and then you go, oh, you picked the argument that he was right on, that he was strongest on, was rejecting all of this shit. Oh, sorry, you won't even pledge to be a genocidal demon like us. Like, yeah, okay, well, I actually kind of like that about him. But the thing about it is that if we don't, like, and this has always been my thing that I've been beating forever. It's like Ron Paul's whole thing was it was end the Fed and a gold standard and sound money. And why was it that the most anti-war libertarian was always talking about sound money? Because that's the whole game here. Now you let all these Democrats talk about unaffordability. Well, what is unaffordability? What is that's Currency debasement. It's another way of saying this shit that the libertarian Ron Paul guys have been saying for all this time. But the reason why Ben Shapiro or Mark Levin or none of them could ever utter those words out of their mouth, even though they're supposed to be fiscal conservatives, is because you need that type of monetary policy to have a world empire. And that's the only way that you can fight all of Israel's wars, is if you keep devaluing the currency, because we can't afford them. The American people aren't going to be taxed enough for it. This being the world empire is the biggest of big government programs. It's over $1 trillion a year we spend maintaining the empire. And so while Donald Trump is stuck doing all of this shit overseas, he's had to print a ton of money in this first year. And so what's happened with prices? They've just gone up even more than from the Biden years. And so anyway, the point is, like, we really are in a moment here where it's like, do you guys want the socialists to win? Or do you want to keep fighting wars for Israel? Or or you get both of those, right? Like, your choice is preserve liberty in the United States of America or fight Israel's wars.
Right. That's exactly right. And I just say to people, what you can do is you can control your own household. Like, I would never allow my sons to sign up for the military when the decisions are made in Tel Aviv of whether or not they're going to die. So all this rah pro-American. No, it's not. It hasn't been pro-American in a very long time. We see that. We saw that recently. And the reality is they need America because they don't have enough bodies. They have enough corruption. They have enough evil. They don't have enough bodies. And this is why they're trying to commit you to their cause ideologically, because you are the slaves that are supposed to go over and die. When they drop bombs and say that they're spreading democracy, but they're actually in Afghanistan having people guard the poppy seeds so that they can cause the opioid crisis, right? Like, you're fighting for the Sackler family. You're not fighting because you're up against the Taliban. All of that's nonsense. And people are waking up to that. Another way, and this is what I say all the time on my podcast, pull your kids out of their schools. Okay, homeschool. They get so much power by being able to infiltrate their minds when they're young. That's why they're obsessed with the youth generation. And guess what? That's already winning. There's a reason why they now want to pass homeschool laws. They're trying to demonize homeschoolers. Is because COVID woke parents up to, like, whoa, why do I have not even control over my kid's body? Forget the mind. I don't even have control over my child's body. And there's no upside. I mean, this is why are you sending your kids to university? For what reason? To plug them into that same monetary system where they start their lives like I did, $150,000 into debt because they thought that they had to go to college. This is all the Matrix. Attack it where you can in your own household. They don't even know what to do. They're scrambling. You hear it now. They've never been more roarous in their demands for cancellation. And it's because an animal backed into a corner fights the hardest. Keep talking about Israel. Keep talking about Tel Aviv. Keep talking about Bibi Netanyahu. Keep talking about homeschooling. Keep talking about the military industrial complex, and we will win. They are at the beginning of the end of their domination over American minds.
Yeah. Well, I think you've been one of the most effective people, if not the most one, in that cause and fighting it. So thank you for everything you've been doing. Keep doing it. I know I don't need to tell you that because I know you're not going to stop either way. But thank you so much for taking the time and coming on. And I hope we get to talk again real soon.
Well, thank you, because Norm Finkelstein, you were the guys that kind of really woke me up. And I was like, whoa, like, I hadn't even considered this. And so it's all of us plugging in at a different time and being able to have the conversations, sharing our platforms. And so, anytime.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you back on Monday.